So apparently, as we get deeper into the Led Zeppelin catalog, there are less covers done by the band. After Led Zeppelin 4, it looks like there are very few, if any, covers left. So I think tracks like this should be appreciated because this is a cover of an old folk song. A famous version of it was done by the folk singer Leadbelly, which I'm sure some of you guys have heard of. And the actual arrangement of this track was inspired by Fred Gerlach's version. Page took a lot of inspiration from that track. So I'm very curious. I always love folk songs for their writing in the tracks. I find them to be some of the best writing in rock music, especially the rock tracks inspired by folk songs. And as always, I'm going to be curious to hear what have they done in terms of the musical arrangement. Here we go. This is Gallows Pole by Led Zeppelin.
Hangman, hold it a little while. I think I see my friends coming, riding many a mile. Friends, you get some silver, you get a little gold.
What an effect on his voice.
Bring me, my dear friends, keep me from the gallows pole.
Ever so slight echo on it. Really like it.
Keep me from the gallows pole. I couldn't get no silver, I couldn't get no gold. You know the way I'm too damn far from the gallows pole.
The tension built by those guitars are so fantastically done. I was very curious to hear what a Led Zeppelin folk style song would sound like. Again, this is another artistic stretch for me by the band. They're stretching themselves artistically on this album a lot. It sounds fantastic, especially building upon this concept, which seems to be a man who is about to be hung, it sounds like. So the tension in those guitars is very apt. He seems to be looking in a distance, almost seeing figures and hoping for the fact that it's his friends coming to save his life. He's going to be hung, essentially, right? If I do say so, it's a very cinematic track by Led Zeppelin. They don't always do a story style track like this, but I love what they're doing here. As this figure from the distance becomes more and more clear that it is maybe one of his friends, his brother's here to save him, the effect on the earphones changed. For the most part, it was in the left earphone, and it was much more tension building. Hope built up in the second verse, right? That second guitar comes in, both headphones are now full, just as his hope is now full. He's full of hope now. Fantastic. Plucking, I think that is, right? Okay, so if I have the story right, it looks like he was saved, but the girl who seems to have like is I think this is a story of like adultery, and the girl who he committed the crime with didn't have someone to come and save him, right? That's what he's saying. But now I laugh and pull so hard. See you swinging on the gallows pole. The girl is now swinging, which is some terrible imagery. But he's survived, and thus they're laughing at the end of it, right? I love the finger picking style of this track too, man. All those guitars building upon each other, all those prickly guitar notes coming through. Love it, love it. I really love the character that Robert Plant plays in a lot of the Led Zeppelin tracks. He makes for such an interesting character to listen to, because he's almost like in a Western movie where you're not sure if he's the good guy or the bad guy at times, because he'll break your heart in one song, he'll sing you a love song, then he's laughing at you because he got away through committing a crime and you didn't, and the girl that he committed the crime with is now on the pole and he's laughing his head off. It makes for such an interesting character and such a unique perspective or person to create within the story of the music and these albums. This is a really cinematic track. I really loved what they did here. They told a story. They used, what is a fantastically written track, this really kind of twisted tale almost, you can say, about what seems like a dude who's about to be hung, and then he's saved with silver, and the other person is not. A fantastic tale that they drew from and expanded on with these really unique sounds that help build up the tension, and then the release and the kind of madness at the end of the track. You have to also really give credit to Led Zeppelin for trying. It's like a swing and a miss album. They're trying things. Some of it doesn't work out. I've had some tracks that I didn't love, but there are other tracks that really land, and I think this experimentation serves them really well in later albums, because what I hear from people is that they really perfected their style in Led Zeppelin 4 and then Houses of the Holy. So I guess they learn from this album, and it'd be kind of boring if they just kept doing the same old albums. I think Led Zeppelin 2 was great expansion of what they did in the first one, so they had to go in another direction that was really different. But great track, man. Like I said, some tracks I didn't love on this album, some tracks I really love. This is one of those ones that I really like.